So we have to stand a little bit to be focused on the camera. So Glen, I have to put this. The wind is too much for me. Yeah, cool. Listen, Glen, have you put this the right way?
Like that?
Not the right way.
No?
Let's see. No, it's the right way. Let me put this. Um, Glen.
Is it filming?
Yeah. Glen, many times we think as artists that our work has no value of rentabilization. Well, this is wrong. It's completely wrong. The way of getting money out of our art is very broad. Have you read that book, Art Inc.?
Art Inc.
I have that
no.
book. Carlos took the book and he read the book and he adored it. Lots of when this happens, I have to stop talking. The audio gets all messed up. 10 in 10 minutes is this way. Then I edit the video, okay?
Yes.
So we have to understand not only the three values in the artwork,
Right.
we have to understand how much profit in each way of we sell. So
Okay.
originals of art must have a very good profit in there for us artists.
Yes.
Without the intermediary system, merchants, galleries, websites, they always take their cut.
Yes.
So such art, like 30%. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I sold a painting to Texas, and they took care of the process of sending, but it was so complicated. I had lots of problems,
Yeah.
and I had to pay. I had no profit in the end,
Right.
you know. So we have to understand original artworks, lots of profit has to be almost the profit to us, the artists.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And then, for example, photographs of us in front of a beautiful painting of us. Something that has never been, I don't know why, has never been a factor for the art market, but there's a lot of profit in there also. Photographs that can be printed and framed of the artist in front of a very good painting of him. So another niche of market inside the art market that the galleries never went there. I don't know why. Lots of profit to the artists and not to the galleries. Second, so printing in objects, cases of smartphones, glasses to drink,
T-shirts.
t-shirts, a huge market. But if you go the official way, you go, for example, for Zazzle, a website that allows that.
Yeah.
Print on demand sites, dozens and dozens of sites. But you are one in 20 million
Yes.
artists in there. So you don't get noticed at all.
No,
They
no.
make the cut. For them, it's okay. But as a business for the artist himself,
Yeah. Hopeless.
it's not. It's good for them because of the massification of the numbers,
Yes.
mathematics. You know. So we have to print it ourselves with the company that allows us to have profit margin in everything that you do as an artist. Or it is there, the profit margin, or if someone says, my cut is more than 30%, you know immediately that's a business model that doesn't interest me as an artist.
Yes.
He has the margin of profit because of the massification of the numbers. I, as an individual artist, I do not have the profit margin inside one object. If I don't have the profit margin in one object, in the all of the business there in the site, I don't have that margin of profit, and I need that to live as an artist. So, another trap. So, print on demand, print on demand sites, for example, to make books,
Yeah.
Amazon, Kindle Amazon allows you to publish
Yes.
the book. Same problem. Where can someone find your content if you are inside a system with dozens of millions of content creators?
Yeah.
You will have to make a marketing plan that allows you to have visibility. So you are paying Amazon a marketing plan inside Amazon to be shown your content for you to get sales. But in everything that you do inside, you are paying Amazon everything, and
Yes.
in the end, the profit margin does that exist?
Yeah. Disappears.
If you buy some of your books and you sell them directly, there is that profit margin. But when Amazon dominates all the market, they will be assured that that profit margin will not be there. First, they dominate the market because of the low prices of the books,
Yeah.
printing the books. When they dominate the market, they don't have to do that. So they will raise the prices. So the user will be paying them forever for things that he doesn't need.
Yeah.
When they have the monopoly of the market, the entire market of the entire world, they change the rules because they can.
Yeah.
And then their profit goes up even higher, and the individual genius writer has no profit margin, has no business. Okay, that's what is going on. So lots of money in the book market for us, the artists, to make books about our story, like Taschen,
Mm.
the books of art, the books of Taschen about Picasso, Miro. Well, the individual artist can do that individually to tell his story as an artist. Will connect directly to the buyer and to the viewer of his art to understand his art, his origins. That would be a very good complement for us artists.
Yeah.
Lots of profit there. Once again, lots of profit individually on this niche of markets there and here, but lots of dishonest people there, allowing the artists to integrate only in their terms, only if the artists allow them to have the big cut of the profit.
Mm.
It's a question of mathematics. Because of the massification, they have a business model. The visual artist, as an individual, doesn't have that business model because of the pure mathematics. They have the cut of the profit. In terms of the numbers, for them it's okay. From Fixando to Zazzle to print on demand books, same model. For them, they work because
Yeah.
of the numbers. Profit margin, X number of the users. For them, they work. So, but let me talk about, for example, you can paint directly on the stone, paint directly on clothes, clothes that exist already.
Yeah.
So you can go to the printing part of the business, but you have to assure you have that profit margin.
Mm.
You can go the Zazzle way or the other print on demand websites, but assure you have a profit margin that makes sense for you, the artist, and not makes sense for the owner of the website.
Yeah.
The owner website is always good in terms of the numbers, makes sense to him in terms of profit margin. start thinking about your individual profit as an artist. So the space there in Portela will allow us to artists to have that profit margin.
Okay.
Okay, so people will speak to you, the clients will speak to you directly with no interference from our part, Carlos and me. You talk directly to the artist.
Yeah.
One of the major problems in this art market is that you think you are being served by the galleries, but no, the artist centralized controls all the contacts. From that moment, you don't have a business model. The business model is transferred to the gallerist. And if you protest, the gallerist says, there are many artists.
Yes.
You don't want this business model that I offer you. Bye bye. Let's let's enter a new artist that goes along with what is my scheme here.
But now it's even worse because in the past the galleries would choose an artist and would charge the commission for promoting and selling. But now you have to pay the galleries to be there, and they charge a commission. So you end up with virtually nothing, and they profit off your paintings, off your
Yeah,
talent.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So things have got substantially worse.
Worse than the Van Gogh time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's incredible. Instead of we going to the democratic access to the market,
Yeah.
so no one enters an visual arts galleries now. Who enters a contemporary gallery of art? No one, because everyone understands the business model inside there is built to an elite. So it's not the inserting a democratic way of understanding visual art, of pedagogy, visual pedagogy. No, the other way around.
Yeah.
The elite has money to spend on this or that artist. Only 15 artists in Portugal live from their art. The others don't exist.
Yeah.
And we will never enter the front door of a gallery of art in Portugal or anywhere. It's just the business model that is completely wrong. And I think the market is not big. It's a lie because the market is huge everywhere. If people understand the value inside of artwork as an investment value, of course the market would be bigger,
Yeah.
much bigger. Everyone would buy art to assure the future of his family. Is this hard to understand? But these guys built all this sociological construct around them, and they say this is the only business model that can be applied in art,
Mm.
just because they didn't study anything. They didn't study visual art. They didn't study even the business models that exist nowadays. They were disrupted by the Google paradigm and so on. They didn't study that. For them, it's the only thing that they see. It's the only thing that they can profit. Of course, for them, is more or less okay. For
Yeah.
the artist, it's not okay.
Not okay at
It's
all.
not okay. You know, no one will offer the artist what me and Carlos are offering the artist. More or less, 80% of the profit, free from anything. The artist contacts directly the client, no barriers, no
Yeah.
centralization of contacts, no saying this. I control this, you artists adapt. The other day, another rule made by the gallerist, you artists adapt. This is no, it's no future.
Yeah.
There is no future in this business model, you know. So, lots of things we can do. We can go the illustration route. You can adapt your work to make, for example, a photograph of a client, and then you make your special art style around that photo. So a huge market there also. We artists must understand that our work goes everywhere. You
Mm.
can go, for example, for sculpture in the exterior spaces. You can go for the interior design of in houses.
Yeah.
You can go to the adaptation of objects inside each division, creating new functionalities inside each object, inside each division of the house. Our visual arts background allows us to adapt to everything, absolutely everything that exists. But of course, the business model doesn't make sense to us. It's not intended to make sense to the artist,
No.
visual artist. It's not intended. The profit margin it cut off inside each subsystem. You go the print on demand way websites, the profit margin is there for them, not for the individual user. So you have this huge distortion that when you go to a website, you think you have the profit margin. In the end, you understand I don't have that profit margin.
Mm.
You know, it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. But the possibilities of taking profit from our work is really huge. But it has to be made without frontiers and without this centralization of contacts by the galleries. We have to understand all the traps in terms of the profit
Yeah.
margin that are there. Okay, if you understand that, it will be like a no-brainer to choose our profit model
Yeah.
for the artist and not for the space. I want to insert a 15-20% margin for the website and for the space in Portela, just because I want to last.
Mm.
If I want something to last, I must insert a collective way of thinking to distribute real value for everyone, for every artist, but also a little bit 15, 10, 20% to the space just because I want it to last for the future.
Yeah.
Okay, so a different mentality, not an individual approach, not an egocentric approach, not just I want this profit for me and the others I don't want to care.
Mm.
No, you insert a different business model. You insert a collective way of thinking, distributing real value for every artist in there, and then a little bit for the space, just to make it an institution, not a business, not a company.
Yeah.
You know, so this is the idea that we have there.
Okay.
And honestly, when you say you hear all the time these startups and companies, we are adding value. We are adding value. No, they are taking value.
Yes.
If some Steve Jobs say I'm adding value, no, he's taking value because he is working still on the mentality of the old days of capitalism, where you have businesses that take the profit margin for them,
Mm.
but they are working in an individualistic approach of mentality. If you insert a collective approach, you are really adding value for everyone. The money can be there, the profit. Okay, it's the way the society works, but you don't take it from the overall environment around. You are adding and we are giving that power to the user
Mm.
of the service, and you are not taking it to make you richer and the others. In the end, you take value and you are not adding value.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of approach, very different from individual perspective to the collective perspective. And then it can work a long time. Look around. Laundry services, coffees, restaurants open one day, 2 months later they close. They go elsewhere. The same thing. Very high end profit margin, short time live, and they go elsewhere. It's a question of mentality, of approach, and of this that I'm telling you, individual approach to profit margin.
Mm.
Just for me. The rest around, I don't care. With mentality, look around this trade society.
Yeah.
Where does the artist fit in there? It cannot fit because the mentality is wrong. It's not us that are wrong with our good heart and approach to the beauty in the reality. So, lots of value of everything that we can do. We can do new objects, inventing new objects from our visual arts. We can adapt to that. We can go for the choreography part of the. We can go to the animation. Carlos is very interested in following animation
Right.
of comics adapted to imagine movement films. Lots of very high profit margin also in there. But if you go to the traditional route, you'll be blocked every time
Yes.
because they have a business model and you don't need to integrate in that if they don't want to integrate in that. So, oh no, it's not here, it's the next door, go next door, just to get rid of you.
Mm.
So they insert the octopus technique noise, visual noise. What does the octopus does? Sends black smoke
Yeah.
inside the water. So he blocks visual noise and then he runs away. So, technique of the octopus, visual noise, and then movement so you can go elsewhere. So, your social crime is not spotted as such. It's the same thing that the business model of galleries.
Mm.
Never for them to solve. No, no, you must go to the art fair, and then you go to the art fair and you talk to the gallerist there, and the gallerist says, no, it's not me, it's the other guy. You go to the other guy in Lisbon, and so on. You go there, it's not with him today. Lies and lies and lies.
Mm.
You know, just because they don't understand the business model that has to be inserted in the art market is very different from what they are doing now. You know,
Yeah.
if they didn't want fast money in the very short time, if they understood the value for the future of art that is huge, they would understand what I'm telling you. The business model in art must be radically different to give real value for everyone, for the client, for the artist. If they block the access, and they do, the access from the artist to the client, they are undermining their own power in the near future.
Mm.
And only them that didn't understand this, you know,
Yeah.
only them they didn't understand because I think it's a question of not have enough culture in the visual art. They don't understand the need for a new business model. So art galleries in Lisbon, Porto, closing doors. Of course they are closing doors. Who wants to enter a visual arts gallery?
Yeah.
There is not visual arts in there. It's just a business model equal to everything else. Why should the people would understand that this artist has quality? Is very valued in the market. Why should people would buy that? It's high inflation in there,
Mm.
but the other part is very troubling. The masterpieces of many painters are being sucked from the market at a very low price. In the end, in 10 years' time, artist has no power in this market. Alberto Assunção has happened to him. Meireles, Rosarlete Meireles has happened to her. It's happening to everyone. The masterpieces are sucked from the market at a very low price, and you keep giving false clues to the artist. Oh no, you have to work on the technique. The technique is not there. It's not a question of technique. It's a question of dishonesty. It's a question of not wanting to share the profit with the artist. It's a question fundamentally of a wrong attitude of capitalism society that wants to insert in the art market. That is not even a market. It's a very broad thing, art. They want to take it as a niche of market. So they apply a business model that doesn't make sense anywhere, but in art it even doesn't make sense. There is it clearly doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
you know. So the ability to rentabilization of our work is huge, and I will create on the art the .pt on the shop of the site. I will create many things that are like your photographs in front of a painting.
Yeah.
So as a photograph, and it will be sold like 50 euros, the big image to be printed. So this is the first step for that to happen.
Okay.
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 So that site I always thought in collective terms. My problem is your problem. Is Rosarlet problem. Is Ricardo Fonseca problem. Is Alberto de Assunção problem. Everyone has the same problem. So only a collective approach to a business model that is really different, that gives value to the artist. 80%, no one is thinking this way.
Yeah.
No one. Only this can add value and connect us artists to a human way of talking to the client that is understandable. If he understands the three values in the artwork, if he connects with your human touch, the sell will be very easy. Very easy. So this is the way that I want to integrate everything.
Right.
And honestly, is the only business model that makes sense
Yeah.
for. And it starts in art and must spread all around the society because we humans live in a community. It is not thought as a community. It's a pure business model cannot that cannot work in long terms. You know.
Right.
Let me see if this captures something.